Hi everyone, myself Pratik. Today I welcome you for the Growth Based channel. In this video, I will be talking about the fundamental analysis of a company called Bajaj Auto. So please do like, subscribe to my channel to receive the further notification about the fundamental analysis which I will be doing in the future. So let us start with the fundamental analysis of a company called Bajaj Auto. So Bajaj Auto is one of the leading manufacturer of two-wheelers and three-wheelers in India. So why I have taken Bajaj Auto for my fundamental analysis is mainly because the three major things which made me interesting and exciting about the company. The first major reason is about the quarter 3 results which they have declared was tremendous, very good. So it was around 30% up when it compares to the FY20 quarter 3 results. So when it compares to its peers, it still looks ahead, which made me interesting about the quarter 3 results of the company. Next is about the operating margins which the company is operating. It's way above the peers, means what the other people are operating, it's way above that. That's another point. Next, third point is about the stock price has been significantly jumped almost 25% from the last 2 months. Now it has been corrected, it is the other way around. So in the last 2 months of time span, the company stock price has been surged 25%, starting from 3300 levels to 4400 levels. So it was a huge jump of 1100 points in the time span of 2 months. So that made me interesting about the companies to do a fundamental analysis on this. So let's start the fundamental analysis of a company called Bajaj Auto. So in the fundamental analysis, I will be discussing about the business of the company, next history of a company, next shareholding pattern of the company, economy and industry analysis, financial and statement analysis, financial ratios, next the peers comparison, next lastly about the conclusion about the company. If you want to give the target for this company for the next 2 years, please comment below in the comment section. I will be doing the valuation based on that and I will be publishing on the community tab. So let's start with the business of the company. The company is having a business in the three major segments, starting from two-wheelers, three-wheelers and electric two-wheelers. So first in the two-wheeler space, they are having an amazing product base in the two-wheelers, starting from Avenger, CT100, Dominar, Husqvarna, KTM, Platina and Pulsar. So these are all the two-wheelers models which they are having in their portfolio. Next, when it comes to the three-wheeler space, they are having a product like a Bajaj RE, Bajaj Maxima, Wide, Bajaj Maxima and Bajaj Quad. So these are all the products which they have in three-wheeler space. So nextly, the two-wheeler electric bike space. So in that space, they have a model called Bajaj Chetak. Before, Bajaj Chetak was a petrol two-wheeler vehicle. So now they have converted that name into the electric bike. You might be wondering that why the KTM is in the portfolios models of Bajaj Auto. If you want want a clarification about that, please watch the next segment of history of Bajaj Auto. So let's start with the history of Bajaj Auto. So in the history of Bajaj Auto, the Bajaj Auto is one of the leading manufacturer of the two-wheelers and three-wheelers across India. So they are also a largest exporter of two-wheelers and three-wheelers in India. So they have three subsidiaries all around the world. So in the three subsidiaries, which is first is Bajaj Auto International Holding BV, next is the PT Bajaj Indonesia, next Bajaj Auto Thailand. So these are the three subsidiaries which they are having overseas. So the company has been started at 1945 in the name of MS Bajaj Trading Corporation. So in the 1948 they have been started selling two-wheelers and three-wheelers by importing. Nextly in the 1959 the company Bajaj Auto has received a license for to manufacture two-wheelers and three-wheelers in India. In the 1960 the company Bajaj Auto has been converted from private limited to public limited company. In the 1985 the company has started a production at the Valju plant and in 1998 they have also started a production at Chakan and Pune plant. In the 2007 the Bajaj Auto has acquired a 14.51% stake in the KTM company. It's one of the European second largest motorcycle manufacturer. And after that, they have increased it to 14.51% to 47% right now. So you might have cleared that why the KTM is sold in the name of Bajaj Auto. So Bajaj Auto, whatever the sales is happening in India, it is registered under the Bajaj Auto's name, but it is not sold in the name of Bajaj Auto when it is in the publicly. So this is one of the point which I think I have cleared about why the KTM is in Bajaj Auto's portfolio. In the 2010 and 2011, the company has expanded its capacity from 7,80,000 producing capacity to 15,40,000 capacity. So this is one of the major change which they have done in the 2010 and 11. In the 2012, the company has been tied up with Japan Kawasaki in Indonesia. In 2017, the Bajaj Auto and Trim of UK, so they have announced a global partnership. In the 2019 and 20, the Bajaj Auto R&D research and development space, which has been launched a new vehicle called electrical Chetak bike. So in the R&D space, they are also having a 23 variants in the motorcycle space and 13 vehicles in the commercial variants. Despite of the lockdown, the company could able to deliver a export of 2.17 millions in a year. So that's one of the very good positive point with respect to the company. So this is all about the history of a company. Next, let us discuss about the shareholding pattern. So in the shareholding pattern, the promoter is holding 53.7%, the FIS is holding 13.06%, the DIS is holding 9.13%, and the public is holding 24.12%. So when it comes to a shareholding pattern, the company is in the very good positions where the FIS and DIS has been decreased their stake in the last 2 quarters. That is one of the slight negative thing, but it is okay. So with respect to the shareholding pattern, it seems to be good. Nothing exciting about the shareholding pattern. So next, let us discuss about the economy and industry analysis. So when it comes to an economy and industry analysis of the automobile space, so in the automobile space has witnessed a severe struggles and severe decline in their volumes in the last 2 years. So what I would like to tell about the industry is that whenever the economy is not doing good, there is something recession is happening. The first most industry and first most sector is going to affect is the automobile space. So that is why investors are very much worried about the economic concerns. When the economy is not doing good, the underperforming sector is the automobile sectors. So in the last 2 years, the most hit sector was the automobile sector. So in the automobile sector, the passenger vehicles space is the most hit taken space. So even the two-wheelers and three-wheelers also reported a widest ever contraction of 13% in the 2019 year. In the quarter 4, means in the 2020 January to March, so the sales have been recovered almost 32% as up when it compares to the year of 2019 January to March. The 2020 January to March was giving a recovery sign, but despite of the lockdown happened from the March to the May and June. So despite of the lockdown, the sales have been again dropped. After that, 2-3 months was a moderate kind of a sales. So after that, the sales have been started increasing from the September and October, November and December. There was a huge jump in the sales. So I want to give you an example of a Euro. Euro has reported a highest ever sales of 8 lakhs two-wheelers unit sales in the October month. So this shows how strong is the recovery in recovery space. But economist has been worried at the point that, so is this recovery is sustainable? So that was the thing which they have in their mind. But so as of now, the economy is sustaining the volumes and the industry is reporting the volumes are very good. It is almost stable. So it's nothing to worry about the sustaining factor. So the Bajaj Auto is one of the third largest two-wheeler manufacturer in the world with respect to the market cap. The first is the Honda, next is the Suzuki, next is the Bajaj Auto, next is the Yamaha, next Eicher, next stands Hero. So there are the 3 top companies of two-wheeler companies that are in India. So the first one is the Bajaj Auto, so next is the Eicher and next is Hero. That's one of the proud thing we could able to tell in the two-wheeler space. So the India is one of the leading manufacturer of the two-wheelers. So that's one of the very proud moment for an Indian. So when it comes to industry analysis, in the February sales was stood at 1.4 million units. So it's almost a 10% up when it compares to the year on year. So that's one of the very good positive point with respect to the two-wheeler industry space. So next I want to discuss about the market share, what the two-wheeler space is occupying with respect to the different players. So when it comes to the market share, the Euro Motor Corp is holding 35.78 percentage with respect to the two-wheeler space. Next stand at Honda with a market share of 27.02 percentage. Next TVS with having a market cap 13.884 percentage. Bajaj Auto stood at 11.93 percentage. Royal Enfield 3.77 percentage. Yamaha Motor 3.33 percentage. Suzuki Motorcycle 3.93 percentage. So Indian two-wheeler space has two segment with respect to the market share. So one is the motorcycle space. In the motorcycle segment, the Hero Motorcar is one of the leading manufacturer of a two-wheeler motorcycles, which occupies a 52.7 percentage. So the Bajaj Auto stood at 18.5 percentage. So next come the Honda. So the Honda stood HMSI means the Honda. So Honda stood at 14.9 percentage. So when it comes to the scooter space, the market share, the HMSI means Honda, the Honda company which having a market share of 51.9 percentage. So next comes a TVS Motor with the market share of 20.3 percentage. Euro Motor Cap is a 10.6 percentage. Next forward on. So here we could see the Bajaj Auto is holding almost 13 percentage market cap with respect to the overall in the two-wheeler space. So this is all about the economy and industry analysis of a two-wheeler space. So next let us discuss about the financial statement of a Bajaj Auto. So when it comes to the financial statement of a Bajaj Auto, so Bajaj Auto, when it comes to the financial statement starting from March 2009 to March 2020, so we could able to find a significant increase in the sales and also in the profit of the company. So where in the slowdown has happened in the last 2 years, where in the 2018 March and 2019 March, so despite of that, the company could able to deliver a good growth in the segment where the profitability was not impacted, where the EPS was still on the upside. So that's one of the very good positive point with respect to the company's perspective. So whenever everything is good, so there is no much to tell about the management. So when everything is bad, the volumes are declining, how they will generate a good profit, how they will generate a good return for their investors, that plays a very important role. With respect to Bajaj Auto, the Bajaj Auto delivering a good profit year on year, the EPS is continuously increasing from several 10 years. So that's one of the very good positive point with respect to the company. Despite of the COVID also, they could able to deliver a 25,961 crores of sales. So the company has reported a good sales in the Q3 results of December, which of 1,716 crores they are reported in the Q3 results, which a EPS of 59.31, which the company has not reported this kind of a sales in the overall in the segment itself. So that's one of the very good positive point with respect to the company perspective. So next let us discuss on the balance sheet. So in the balance sheet, the reserves is continuously increasing from several years, from last 10 years. That is one of the very good positive point with respect to the borrowing and debt. So the company has been decreased their debt when it compares to the 2009. Now they are having a debt of 126 crores. So when it compares to its profit, it's negligible. So nextly, the investment is also increasing from several years. So that's one of the very good positive points. So the investment what they are doing, it is also giving a good returns for them. So with respect to the balance sheet, the company's balance sheet looks good. So in the sales factor also, the company has delivered a 10% CAGR in the sales. In the profit growth of it, the company has declared a good profit growth of a 10% CAGR overall in the last 10 years. In the stock price also seen a 10% CAGR growth. The return on equity is also very good. So with respect to the trailing 12 months, the company has declined a sales growth of 15% and profit growth of -7%. You all know, despite of the COVID, it is a decline in the sales and the profitability. So other than that, the company's sales and the profitability are the companies in the financial statements seems to be very good, and the profitability of the companies are increasing from several years. That's one of the very good positive point with respect to the company point of view, with respect to the investors point of view also. Next, let us discuss about the financial ratios of a company. So when it comes to the financial ratios of the company, the current price of Bajaj Auto is 3,650. So it has been corrected from 4,400 levels to 3,650 rupees. So it is one of the right time to pick the stocks because the future upgrade of earnings could happen in the future in the next 2 quarters. That's one of the very good positive point and very good time to pick the stock. So the debt to equity is 0.01. The company is having a debt of 126 crores. The price to earning is 22.7 crores. The 5-year PE is 18.9 crore. 18. The 5-year PE is 18.9 and return on equity is 23.2%. Operating margin stood at 17%. So I want to tell about the operating margin because the operating margins which they are operating is very good, because when it compares to the Euro Motor Corp and when it compares to the TVS, so they are operating with a very low margin when it compares to the Bajaj Auto. So when it comes to the peer comparison also, the operating margin which they are operating is a very good. So that's one of the very good positive point with respect to the financial ratios. So when it compares to the operating cash flows, so the operating cash flows the company has reported in the FY20 was 3,850 crores. The free cash flow was 3,533 crores. So the company is also increasing the free cash flow from the several years. So that's one of the very good positive point with respect to the financial ratios of the company. So in the near term, the company's earnings to be upgraded in the next 2 quarters. So this is all about the financial ratios about the company. The financial ratios stood very good, which seems very attractive at the current time. So next, let us look at on the peer comparison of the companies with respect to the competitors of them. So when it comes to the peer comparisons, so the iChar is trading at a PE of 65.63% and Hero Motor Corp is trading at a 23.22% and TVS Motor is trading at 72.89%. But when it compared to the Bajaj Auto is still trading at 22.8%. When it compares to its peer, it's still trading lower to the P's of the competitor. So next, when with respect to the dividend yields also, the Hero Motor Corp is giving a 2.93%. So the Bajaj Auto is giving 3.26%. When it compares to its peers, the dividend yield also stood high. When it compares to the profit, where you could see the Hero Motor Corp is one of the leading manufacturer of two-wheelers in India. So their profit is 1,019 crores. But when it compares to the Bajaj Auto profit stood at 1,716 crores for quarter, in the quarter 3 result I am telling you about. So when it compares to the sales growth also, the sales of a Hero Motor Corp stood at 9,827 crores. But the Bajaj Auto stood at 8,909 crores. But still, the profit which the company is declaring is way above the Hero Motor Corp. When it compares to the peer also, it's still way above that. So when it comes to the return on capital employed, when it compares to its peer, the Bajaj Auto is giving a 29.61% on the capital what they have been deployed to generate a return. So it is reported 29.61%. When it compares to its peer, it's way above that. So what does the peer comparison tells that when it compares to the two-wheeler segments of a listed companies in India, the Bajaj Auto stood ahead. The Bajaj Auto is one of the very good pick in an automobiles two-wheeler segments at the current time, at the current valuations, which is trading at a very lower PE when it compares to its peer. But when it compared to the future prospect, in the next 2 quarters, the company's future is very good. In the 2 quarters, expected to be a good sales is going to happen. So in the next 2 years also, the economy is doing very good. We could able to expect very good numbers to be delivered in the two-wheeler space. So that's one of the very good point with respect to the company perspective and to the economy perspective. So this is all about the fundamental analysis of a Bajaj Auto company. So at this current valuation, the company seems to be very good. At the current valuation, you can take the Bajaj Auto. It is my analysis. Please do your analysis to take a call on Bajaj Auto or not. So till next video, bye bye.